Cool. Welcome to Engineering Design in Omniverse. And this week I have a special guest, Papa Chuck.
Yeah.
So we're all a little bit different order than usual. I think usually we stream on Thursdays, but this Thursday I'll be out. And then Ashley usually streams right now, but she couldn't do it. So we've stolen her spot. And we're doing EDIO right now. And Jen couldn't make it, and Papa Chuck could, and Ashley might be able to make it later. And so we're just going to have fun with it. And great news, I made a lot of progress over the week on the widget. So I want to show off what we've done. And I think we're going to try to train an AI to drive a little bit. So with that, let's show you what's new. We pop open that Jupyter notebook. Really what I've got here now, where is it? Here we go. If you remember, we were having the problem last week where sometimes the image would show up and sometimes it would not show up. And so what I've done here is I've made it all async. So here's our capture image function. It's now async. And I just did a Google search. The Google search. I did a Slack search. Let's be honest. I did a search and found this in one of the samples on Slack and internally. But basically, what we're doing here is we call this captured we call the capture viewport, and then apparently, if you call this get next update async twice, that makes sure that the screen capture is all complete and saved. And then we can call this onComplete function that we've passed into our capture image. So we've got to set a callback here. So now if you look down here, I've defined this replace image callback. So basically we're going to say capture image on mouse released. See, where is it? Here we go. We're going to await capture image, and capture image is going to run the image capture, and then it's going to run this callback function that I pass in. And from there, let's see. And that actually replaces the images right here. Cool. And it's all async. And the way you wire it up to the mouse event, this took me I had to ask for some help here, is you've got your on mouse released is async, and you can't just await from this registration. And so what I'm doing here is this async io.ensure future will essentially await a function without using await. It just kind of does it from a non-async. It takes an async function and turns it into a synchronous call for you. There we go. Really a handy function. What else? There we go. And this is creating the mouse and the user interface. And this is creating the images for the first time. And I'm calling that async io.ensure future, capture the image right there. And let's see how it looks. Let's run it. And there you go. Very first time, we've got 3 images loaded. And let's pop this down here. And then I've got my JetRacer controller working, extension we wrote before. And I don't know if it's wired. It's not connected. Let me just connect it again. Oh, it's not working. Oh, I'm not running the simulation. Here you go. Run physics. There we go. The controller is hooked up. So now we can drive it around. Then we can, let me stop it. And I'll click on this. And that's our new image. And so what we'll do And I should probably switch this with a button, maybe that that switches to a new image. But now I can drive around some more. Oh, too fast, too fast. Whoa. Then I can grab a new image. So we can drive around now, and we can click on the image as many times. We can grab an image, and then we'll click on it where we think this should steer to, right? Where would I steer to? And I'll click on this image to show where we want to steer to. And now, why do we have 3 images? I'm glad you asked. And we might be able to go down to 2, but basically we'll click on an image, and then this second image will kind of show annotated where we've clicked. I think right now that's what I'm thinking. And then this third one, if the AI has been trained, if we have a model, it can annotate where it predicts we should be clicking, and it can show us how we're doing. There we go. So let me see. Oh, I didn't know that. So Papa Chuck and JS Films, you two are roommates.
Yes, we're roommates.
It's like the Omniverse house, right? Yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. And let's see. Yeah, any questions on where we're at so far? That's what we've done. That's what we got done. That's what we got done over the week. Oh, a little bit more. You can put this path in right here, and I can save or load. As I'm actually initializing a PyTorch model in the background in that Jupyter notebook, and I can save my model to the path I specify, or I can load the model from that path. And there are some things we could clean up, like the images are saved to a hard-coded path. And maybe what we should do is maybe just hard code. This is always model.pt, and then, or have a separate combo box with the model name, and then have like a box here that says this is the root folder where we'll put everything. And there's a lot of cleanup we could do to this extension. Don't get me wrong, but right now we're driving hard for. We can get this thing to drive. But let's go to this path here, and let's clean it up a little bit because it's going to be full of stuff. Yeah, see all these images with GUIDs? That's an image for each click. So I'm going to delete those. You can see a model.pt. There's our PyTorch model. And Zia asks, what is the main issue right now? And there's not really an issue per se. We're just going through and making sure that we, the next step is to actually feed this data. Let me show you. We got to train the AI next. And so if you look at our Jupyter notebook, where is it? Here it is. If you look at our Jupyter notebook, right now, clicking on the canvas and capturing the data point are the same, kind of the same operation. That's not going to work because you have to get the new image and then click on it to save the data point. And I think let's work on this a little bit here. Let's add. We've got the canvases, right? And then I think we want to add a button that gets us a new image. And then you can click on the image to capture the data point and save it, right? Oh, I'm using a UUID for all the file names, so they're all unique. The file names are great. Not very easy to read for us, but a computer loves them. So just a big, long, random string, essentially, that will never, if you just create those forever, they'll never repeat. But let's let's do, oh, here we go. I'm just going to copy this.
Put on Discord what he is trying to do.
Then we're going to say capture. And then instead of calling for clicked right here, I'm going to move. Let's make a new function here. See this on mouse released? It captures an image and then it saves that data point. We want to come down here, I think, and make a new function that does the capturing part. And then this mouse release just saves the data point to our list. That way we're saving our data, building our data set that we will use to train our AI. And then after we've got that data set building, all we've got to do is configure PyTorch to actually train with that data set, and which I'm not very good at, but I think, Papa Check, have you used PyTorch very much?
I know how to use it more or less.
More or less. Well, that's more than me because I'm less. Let's see. I'm just excited to do it though, right? Okay, we've got a capture button now, and we're going to come right in here. Actually, let's go right above it. Async define on capture. XY button modifier canvas source. I don't think we need any of that.
So why you wanna label while when you capture instead of labeling after capture?
What was that?
Why you wanna label? Why don't you just label after capture the image?
Oh, because let me see. Great question. So why do I capture first and then label?
No. Why you labeling while you capture? Why you just don't just drive around capturing a bunch of images and then you label?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm changing to right now. I was just getting the images to work before, and now that the images are showing up correctly, I'm splitting it into 2 steps. Let's see if this will. This doesn't need to be a lambda anymore. And we say async IO dot ensure future on capture. And then now that I removed, this is no longer async. And that means this is no longer needs to be called this way. I don't care what canvas it is anymore. Do I care what source? No. I don't need any of these arguments anymore, I don't think. Oh, I do need the X and Y and button. Those are the actual. Oh. X, Y, B. I think this is going to work. So now there's a capture button. And let's see if it gives us a new capture. There we go. So now the capture button just does the image. Before I thought we do care about the canvas, don't we? Oh dear. Let's go change that back. XY button modifier canvas. Okay, but it doesn't need to be async anymore. But we do care about the canvas. Sorry, folks. I about broke it, huh? Let's make sure it's working. capture, and if we click, let's see here. I think it's working, but I took out all the prints because it was working so well. So let's print that now. We'll say print X, print Y, print source. We don't need a stop capture button. The capture button just takes a single frame. It doesn't like keep capturing. So now if I drive forward a bit, let's test this out. I think that's backwards on the track. So I click on capture, it gives us a new frame. And then if I click here, you can see okay, it printed out the X and the Y, but you'll see that it did not print out the path to the image. So let's try that again. Here's a new capture, and then we click. I'm getting X, Y, but not the image path. So let me see here. Yeah. So we just drive a little bit, stop, capture a new image, and click on it. Drive a little bit, stop, capture a new image, click on where it should steer to. And every time we do that, it's going to save that. We wanted to save those coordinates as well as the path to the image to a list that is our data set we'll be using to train our AI. So we're like so close to actually training. So close. Let's see
That's
here.
what you said a month ago.
I know, right? I'm an optimist, but all right. And we were close, if you think about it. I mean, in the grand scheme of being able to train your own AI in Omniverse, a month is nothing, you know?
All right, so here on the path, why you have a path here and you have a path on the code?
Yeah, let me just. Are you basically creating an ideal drive line right now? Yeah, it and maybe not ideal. It's not like perfect. It's not a perfect race line, if you will. It's more just a pretty good one, right? We're pretty simple still. And yeah, that's right. So we're going to so basically with every image we capture here in this training tool, we're going to tell it, where do I think you should steer? And we're teaching the AI based on an image where it should steer. Great question. Why don't I just drive around the track, do a screen capture of the driving, and convert the movie into a sequence of images, then train on those images? And the only step you're missing there is annotating the images. So for every image, you have to tell the AI what it should do. Now, what you could do is every time you take that screen capture, you could also capture your steering angle.
There's other caveats there, okay? So
right? And
this
so
is
there are
supervised
lots of
learning.
ways we could train this AI. So you could, for every capture, you could automatically capture. You could just drive it around the track, and at every frame, you could capture the image and the steering angle, right?
Also about quality of data. So if you have too much data
That's
and
a lot of
poor
data.
annotation, yes, it's not good.
And I think the other thing about that is that would work in. We're just adapting a real world trainer to work in Omniverse, and so we're just kind of this already works in real life, and so we're just doing it right here in Omniverse instead. But yeah, too much data. Yeah, I mean, it's just like I don't know if too much data is not. I mean, I wouldn't ever. The thing about you want to find out how much data you need, I guess. It's nice to know. Like if you just capture a bajillion data points, it's going to take up a lot of memory. It'll take longer to train your model. But at the same time, what we need to do is if we just did like 3 data points, it's going to drive terribly. And so I don't know how many data points we need or how long it'll take, but
Also, there's another trick that can be done here. You can use OpenCV to highlight features you want on a pixel
yeah,
to correlate with our label.
yeah. I think there's a lot more we can do for sure. That said, my real goal personally, I think we're getting this supervised learning to work. This is really cool, but I think the real power of Omniverse, or one of the real powers of Omniverse, is that we could actually do reinforcement learning, right? And I want to learn how to do that with Isaac Jim. So this is just our, we're doing the crawl, walk, run thing. We're just crawling right now. We're just capturing images and training the most basic model we can. And then we're going to get more advanced as we go. So let's see here. Let's see. So we can capture images. We can click on them, but our path is not printing. It's just a blank string. So let's debug that and find out why our path isn't printing. Let's see. So I have a source variable here in the module. And then I've got, and I pass that in to my on mouse released function right here, but apparently it's not being set. Yeah, oh, and actually let's do this. Next. The reason I'm changing this to next point dot x dot y and dot is it source or is it path? Here it is, path. Is I want to see what's getting saved into my array. Just a subtle difference. It's not going to be different, but because you can see I'm creating the next point. It's a data point I create with x, y, and source. If you remember, we made this little class that for a data point, and we're just saving. That's each. So each a path to an image, as well as an x and a y coordinate from the image that we'll be using to train our AI. So let's see here. Point. When I click, where's that? Here it is. I'm assigning source. I'm assigning the value of this image to source. Let's look at capture image and see what it gives us back. Capture image returns that path. By the way, this is the nice thing about GUIDs is we can go ahead and start using that GUID before it's not like we save the image and then we query, well, what's the name of the file, and then get it back. We're creating the file name first, and we're guaranteed not to have any conflicts because it's a unique ID. That said, we should be returning, I'm going to print path here. Print path. Let's see if when I capture that image, if I'm getting a valid path. Okay, so when I capture the image, I'm getting a path.
What is the 152 and 100? Is it the X and Y?
Yeah, that's the X and Y. So if I click on this top left corner, let's see how it looks. Almost 0. Clock down here. I guess that's how big it is.
Where is your 0?
0 is top left corner.
Okay.
But I'm not getting that path. So when I capture an image, a path is correctly assigned, but for some reason, it's not making it to this click event, right? So when I capture the image, it's right here. Where are you?
Model path.
Oh, it's doing it in there. So let's try this. Print source. Actually, no. Async IO future. On capture. Right there. Print source. Trying to figure out where I'm losing it, you know? Okay, when I click capture there. So now when I click on capture, I still have a handle on source. Let's see here. Let's go back to Jupyter. So that's fine. It's the source, the path is coming back from on capture. Take this lambda, add a line to it. Print source. No, I can't do that. Let's see.
Don't you need a comma?
Between these?
What are you doing there?
So I'm defining a lambda function.
I don't think you
So
can
this
do
is
it
a
that way.
function that runs. Let's see. If you Google Python, a lambda in Python, you're just defining the lambda. So x is the lambda with the variable a. So this is an argument that goes into the lambda function,
And you
and it's a
execute
plus 10.
print.
But I should be able to do a multi-line lambda. Let me just see how to do that. I do it all the time in .NET. I've done it a lot in .NET. Doesn't mean you can do it in Python, but multi-line lambda. Oh, okay. You can't. What I'm trying to figure out here is what is the scope. So for some reason I do source here. Let me just try this. UI.button test. I'm trying to find out what the scope of source is. Like, is it for some reason it's not? I'm not able to print it later on. I'm just trying to see like where is it. So here we go. I just added another button here real quick. So if I capture, that captures an image. And if I click on test, it should print the path to that image. Let me just clear this all out. So capture. Oh, I must have taken that print out. So let's add it back in real quick.
You're not saving anywhere.
What's that?
You're just copying like it to the memory, like Control C.
Let's see.
Isn't that what's happening here?
What? I've got this global variable right here, and I don't know how scope works very well in Python. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Is it looks like when I call these functions, this source variable has a different scope It's actually is not this source variable that I was hoping it would be. And so it's not making it back. So if I capture here, so I have the source path there to the image. When I click on test, it's not making it back. Right. So the question then that we've got to figure out, async def on capture. Oh, this is what we'll do. We'll say return source. And we're going to say source equals, and see if that works. Oh, come on. Invalid syntax. Async io.ensure future. Let's see.
To save, don't you have to do f dot write?
We're going to do it this way. We're just going to do a pass by value here, or pass by reference. Well, it's going to pass source in. And hopefully, let's see if it comes back out to us. So now I'm passing source into the function and then assigning it in this function as a variable. And hopefully that way it makes it back out. Oh, this isn't going to work. I need this. I'm going to pass the source in. There we go. Try that again. I'll capture an image. No. So what does our console say? Capture doesn't seem to be working. Async.
Well, I have a snapshot, and I had to save it somewhere.
All right, let's just see. Why are we displaying 3 frames when we are capturing just one? We could change the number of frames, but the idea is that one frame is the one we click on. Frame 2 shows where we've clicked and annotates it. And frame 3 will show where the AI thinks we should click. And that'll help us give an idea. Like if we are clicking, in the center and the AI thinks we should click off way to the side, it'll give us an idea of how well our model's doing. It'll help us later on. And yeah, the image are saving in a directory, right? They're saving right here. So every time I click, each image is assigned a random UUID and saved to this directory. And so when I click, that UUID is assigned. And if we look, let's try this. Print source. Let's see if that part's working.
Oh,
Go ahead and capture. There we go. We're printing source. And so when I capture, that image is made and that path is saved to that source variable. But when I click on this test button, I'm just getting a blank line. It's not coming back. And so I'm trying to, and I'm not the best with Python, to be fair. And so I don't know, does Python pass by value or by reference? I'm going to Google that right now. And if you all know, if I pass by value, then it's just going to pass the value of whatever's inside of source over, and I don't have any kind of, it loses track of it at that point. Like I don't get the value back, or I don't get anything back. Whereas if I pass a reference, then that function and my outer code are both writing to the same variable. And so I'm trying to find out if I'm passing by value or by reference right now. I think it passes by reference though. So I'm a little confused as to why. Because this is what I'm doing. In my lambda here for capture, I'm passing that source variable in, and then I'm assigning it this new value and printing it. And that is, so I should be getting source back. Source should be assigned. But now in this test button, all I'm doing is printing the value of source, and source is an empty string. Yeah. And to Zia's questions, so path should be working. Yes. Path is a string. That's right. It's just a string. It's just a file path to the file, to the image. And then that's right. We're just using a string variable. It's up here. Source is a string. And I'm passing source in to on capture where it should be assigned. And then I'm printing source right here. It should just print the same string, but it's printing an empty string, which is telling me that source is not assigned here. Then later on, when I click on the canvas, it should pass source in to this on mouse released function, where source should be saved into our data set. And so that's what we're trying to debug right now is why isn't source making it back? And Papa Chuck, do you have any insights onto why source isn't making it back?
Yeah, type something on the source is no longer empty, so you know which source you're printing. Because you're printing two sources there.
Well, I'm passing source into on capture where source is assigned, and then I'm printing it.
See, but go to the Isaac.
Yeah.
Right. Now capture.
Capture. And you can see, there we go. I've got source. There's the image path.
And now you click test.
Empty string.
That's the other source.
Yeah. But they should be the same source because I'm passing the one source into the function to be written to. Well, let's take a look. They must be two different sources, right? And I'm trying to make them the same source. So if when I define on capture, I'm passing source into on capture, the same source is assigned. In theory, it's not working. So,
but isn't it a sync, right? So it's another thread.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for it.
But then you have source here and have source here, right? And then different sources.
But I'm passing it in.
But you're not overriding each other. So you're passing the wrong one.
Which one should I pass in?
I don't know, like which one you wanna pass?
I'm passing in source. That's right here. Here I am passing it in. But let's try the
so then
let's just try async io.ensure future return value. That's what I'd like to that instead of passing by reference, let's try to figure that out. Because what would be nice is just something like this. We could say source equals and then return source. Right? That's a little bit clearer, I'd say. It doesn't like that. So let's find out. We should be able to do that. Here we go. How to get return value from async IO coroutine. Let's see. Async to find other coroutine return 100. Value equals, oh wait, other. Okay. Now this is how we're doing it. Oh, dot result. Wait. There's a dot result, maybe. Let's find that. Let's see if that'll work for us. On capture dot capital R.
Is there right parentheses there? Oh yeah. Here.
No, lowercase r. Oh. I think it's not that I can't return from async IO to ensure future. Let's see here. Let's see if we can do it up here where we're not inside of a click event. Line 58. Oh, wait, what? Oh, dot result. Result is not set. Oh, capture image. I'm on a different one. Return. Yeah. Shoot. Just a second. I got somebody. Just a second. Got somebody who might be able to help. All right. We got a helper. Somebody from the Isaac team is watching the stream, and he can't use his camera, but he can help us out. Yeah, no worries. No worries.
I think you should put Gus on the live stream.
All right. Help incoming. Yeah, so no, you can't do the equal sign in the lambda. Let's see. Here we go. Let's add him. Hey, Gus, how's it going?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So, everyone, this is Gus from the Isaac Sim team. He's joining us to save the day.
Don't sell it too.
We hope. We
no
hope.
Pressure. So I
But
think
let's take a step back here. So
yeah, go ahead.
Basically, I've got these. Let's see. That's on capture image. That's on capture. Yeah. So I'd like to be able to. Let's start with this one. This is a little simpler one. And I've got this capture image function that returns a path. How can I assign that result? Right now I'm getting a invalid state error. Result is not set.
On which line? That one? 56?
Yeah.
Can we break up this notebook a little bit more so that we can have like another cell in between some of these functions so we can evaluate like one chunk at a time?
Yeah, to a degree. I think capture image we can there we go. There's capture image.
Perfect.
And all this stuff, and well,
would
right now
it be possible to capture just like in the cell under capture image? Can we try that line where you're getting your result? Can we set up the necessary code to just capture that one? Then we can just execute that cell and take a look at the result and see what it looks like.
There we go.
Result not set. So if you remove dot result, what do you get on the end? Like if we just do that and then print source. Task pending. So it's still, you have to await it. No, you ensured future. It should run until it completes. So it's running still.
Oh, well.
Do you have an exit in your async?
There's onComplete function. You got to pass in an onComplete function. Just a second. So I'm not passing an onComplete function in.
Aha.
Yeah. And that onComplete function takes a path. So what we want to do here is def print path print path. Right. I shouldn't need to do this anymore. Really, I should just be able to like should be able to do both.
Why did you make a separate function for printing the path?
It's just I think you have to oh shoot. I think that if onComplete function. So we can just pass in none.
So capture image, yeah. You're passing it an onComplete function, and the onComplete function you're passing to capture image is replace image. So that's another function somewhere that's being called. Where is replace image?
I can just pass in none.
Okay.
And then I think that's why it was failing. It's because it was looking for that function.
Task pending still. So you should be getting a none type not callable error somewhere.
No, because right here I'm checking if onComplete function. So it's just going to skip this block, right?
Yes, it should. Can you print within that block? It's always a crapshoot whether or not printing within an async function is going to. So it might not end up in the notebook. It might end up in the terminal, or it might end up in the console in the sim.
Let's just try this.
You need to save your notebook.
What's that?
You need to save the notebook, I think. There's a little dot on the top that indicates it's not saved.
Oh, shoot. Let's see, I should be able to. Yeah, so when I printed there, what did I get? Yeah, I get none. So
it is none. Skipping and then returning, but then why doesn't it complete the...
I don't know.
Because they're running separate.
Yeah, but the ensure future should just spin up an asynchronous, I don't want to say thread because I think that has a specific meaning, but asynchronous computation to execute that function, and then when it ends, it should stop executing. So when it says task pending, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So when I call it from here, it prints the path right here. So it's got the path at this point. Okay, but then it's not printing it right from this point. But it's returning it. It's returning.
It's returning the path? When you print source,
I gotta do that result here.
But it's not set.
What does it mean to... Okay, so hold on. Async.
What if you break down like the requirements, like the library stuff on the top, and then you go the functions one by one, and then you...
Nice background there, Papa Chuck.
These are little happy accents.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Instead of ensuring future, I wonder... I'm looking for this error.
Yeah.
Sure, future. Get event loop, run until completed. res1.result, res2.result.
What are you finding over there, Gus?
There might be different ways of executing this asynchronous task,
Yeah,
right?
It's just weird because shouldn't async io.ensure future.result, shouldn't that work?
You know, if I say yes, it implies that I have some kind of like authoritative knowledge.
Yeah. It's
So
just
like
weird.
on paper,
Yeah.
sure. On paper, sure. But in practice, like how to get async IO task.
What about is a different way than that result?
Yeah,
Like,
so you
can't
can
I
create
just
a task, right? So instead of doing ensure future, wrap it with async io.create _ task and then the function that you want to call, right?
so?
I believe so. And then we can create task, and then we can await the task, right? So task equals async io.create task _ and then the function call, and then you can
We're not
await
going to be able
task.
to await it because it's not in a function. We can probably do like task.run or something like that.
No, I guess tasks are meant to be await. Oh, okay. This is a consequence of the way that the sim is set up. It has to do with the fact that we're running like the physics simulation, and then you want to inject the Python code in the sim, and so there's all this other stuff that's going on. Result not set. So if you just run what you had before, the specific error was that the thing that was being returned, the source, was a coroutine that was awaiting, that was still being executed, right?
Yeah. Here, I got it different. I mean, trying to pass by reference now, and nothing. Okay. All right, what were you saying?
Can you go back to what you had before, where you had just the capture image none, and then printing source? I want to see the specific error. Task pending.
So here is printing the task, right?
Yeah.
So we want the task.result. It is a method. Yeah, and well,
coroutines and tasks.
Great question. Capture image is right here. This is the function that's using Omniverse to capture a screen frame. And it gives us back the path, the file path to the image that it has captured.
What if instead of doing ensure future, you just did run? Async io.run and then your function.
So?
I don't think you need a result, right?
Cannot be called from a running event loop. Okay, so we're inside. Okay, so that's how they have the notebook set up.
See. Here, I'm going to be Googling as well.
Wait, have you tried doing await?
Hold
on. Have you tried using await within the notebook outside of an async function?
It won't let you. Okay. You can only await within an async function.
Yeah. Yep.
I did try that. Here we go. Async io.create task. Task equals async io.create task. Or you can call result. Right. Oh. Task.result. Oh, interesting.
Ensure future. What does this do?
Let's try that. Let's try creating task and then calling result. Result. Result is not set. We're kind of getting, so this one, yeah, I don't know why we're getting that error.
I mean, there's an
I
alternative.
wish I knew what it meant. Well, okay, so what are we trying to do here? Actually, that might be a better question. Maybe we're going about this the wrong way. So what's the goal?
I just want to, when I run this capture image and I get this path, I just want to save a copy so I can use it later. That's it. Just want it back.
So capture image is saving an image to a file on your hard drive.
Yeah. And then I need that file path so that later when you click on the image, I save the X and Y the coordinates that you clicked on.
Okay.
Along with the path to the image.
So you've run this, and we've confirmed with printing that it gets through the part where it executes the capture the onComplete function.
Yeah, let me show you.
So can we check the image? Does that image exist? Did it save it?
Oh yeah.
I have a hacky solution
Right
faster.
here.
Why don't you just use the snipping tool?
What's that?
We can't do it live.
You put your Isaac on the center, right? And then you just like use Python to copy your screen.
There we go. There we go. Well, and I could use OS to like look at the file path and just grab the most recent file. I could do some hackety thing like that.
No, but we want to do it right. If we can.
Yeah, I think that would have some serious code smell.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like I've got this.
So you have an on click.
Right,
so when you click, you want to save the image. Where's the so there's your Lambda function.
Yeah, let me show you the kind of the workflow, right?
Sure.
Oh dear. Just a second. I've got it's broken right now. Line 41. We're just going to not worry about this at the moment. Run it. Okay, so this is our user interface. I've got my controller hooked up so I can, drive to a new part of the track.
Cool.
And then I click on capture, and now I have that image. Oh, that's weird. It's kind of like spinning. And then when I click on the image, you can see it's giving me the X and the Y coordinates, but my path is empty. I'm trying to save the X and the Y coordinate along with the image file path to a list so that I can feed those into my PyTorch model next.
Can you show me your onClicked function and where you're getting those X and Y coordinates to print?
Yeah, you bet. Right here. Okay, here's the capture click button. And it just calls that capture image function. And I'm trying to get something back from it. Returns, I've passed source in and then reassigned source. I've also returning source and I can't seem to get it.
What if instead of returning values, we wrote to a data structure that was accessible within the namespace? So if you were doing super hacks, it would be a global variable, right?
I'm okay with that's kind of hacky. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be open to that at the moment, honestly.
Because it looks like if I'm reading, do we know what version of Python you're using?
Python 3 something.
There's nothing 3 something. Okay.
It's Jupyter. It's not Python.
Can I just make a global variable
Yeah. But I don't know about accessing it within the async function.
Yeah,
I think well, try it. Let's try it. Just make a variable, call it X, call X. I think global has to be in the async def. So you just say X equals none. And then inside async def,
how are you gonna make an object is global inside the async?
And then inside the async def at the very top, type in global space X, and then assign X the value of, you don't have to assign X equals 2 there. No, yeah, you're just declaring that it's a global variable. Then beneath it, you could assign X equals 2.
What was that?
Hit enter and then X equals 2. Yeah. Okay, now run the function and print X. Print X before and after running the function, I should say. So.
Oh, I got to so, okay, there we've done it. Capture.
So wherever you execute the capture, print X and then run the function.
I've done that. Clickable canvas. Capture image right here. It didn't edit it.
Yeah. Why not?
So I think we are officially out of time. So unfortunately,
when are you doing another one of these streams?
Yeah, next week.
Next week? Okay. I'm
next Thursday.
Next Thursday? Okay, next Thursday should be okay. I'm traveling later this week and earlier, but I should be good next Thursday. I can drop in then and we can work on this as well together then.
Well, maybe we could work on it a bit during the week and figure it out, and then I can show everyone what we came up with next week. But Gus, you are always welcome on this live stream every week, just so you know. Thanks. And I'm going to start doing Isaac's. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start doing Isaac some office hours once a week, and you are welcome in that one too. So,
I would like to attend for sure.
That's great. But a big part of the deal is that the Isaac Sim team, sometimes there's a real ebb and flow with their team where sometimes they are just completely slammed.
Oh yeah, so that has to do with releases, right?
Yeah.
So we have a very I want to describe the team properly. We have some real rock stars on the team, right? Who are really, really, really good at what they do. And then we have there's some new hires and some interns that we've brought in that are all working on release stuff right now. And then when the release goes through, then everyone goes back to developing their other features and it becomes more relaxed. And then it kind of tightens up again when we get close to the deadline.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that we're trying to do here, this more finessey kind of low-level stuff, it requires a level of expert knowledge about the sim that I don't have off the top of my head, but I want to learn, which is why I want to come to these office hours with you and help, because I think teaching is a good way to do that. And then when the release is done, we'll be able to tap some of those rock stars and hopefully get some better advice on how to do this.
Gus, you're too humble. Gus is also a rock star, just so you all know. So, and
yeah.
Well, so Zia, you can ask Gus about Orin at another live stream because right now we're out of time. But Zia, show up. I think in the next couple of weeks, I think we'll be starting the office hours, and it's just first come first serve. You ask a question, and we'll do our best to answer it. So that's going to be just the perfect forum to ask questions like that. So we've already got some great questions, and by the way, yeah, it's going to be great. Okay, I think that the quality of life for all of our Isaac Sim people is about to get better. So we've noticed that there are a lot of you, and we're coming up with some ways to support you better. And absolutely, there will be an calendar event for it. There'll be Discord events for it. It'll show up on my LinkedIn.
And I'm still going to forget and show up late.
That's all right. I'm always there, and then the Isaac team can show up if they've got bandwidth, right? And they do not always have bandwidth. I can tell you that.
I think another valuable thing would be like if Gus can go over like the tensor and strategies of labeling data, how much data, how to select the data.
There's a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about and teach on here. My issue is that I don't know how to go about organizing my thoughts and setting up like what I'm going to discuss when with whom. We should talk about that offline. We should take this discussion off. If I mean, there's been a lot of interest in I mean, other people have come to me about doing more live stream stuff, and I think I should take them up on that.
Yeah, well, I think that's why we're going to start these office hours, right? Because there are a lot of questions out there, and we just want to get as many questions answered as we can. So, but that'll be starting. We're still working on a few details, but I think we'll start something here in the next couple weeks. And so stay tuned. And stay tuned for this ISIC release that's coming out very soon. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. So, and in the meantime, my task this week is to figure out how in the world to get those variables, to get that data coming back from our async functions. It doesn't seem like it should be so hard. And I think we're gonna go ask on like Omni.kit or one of our Slack channels and get back a really easy and obvious solution.
That's the way it always is, isn't it? It's always this thing that you just didn't know about and overlooked. Yeah. Yeah. Story of my life.
No, I won't fix it out here.
Well, until next week, have a good one, and please train some robots. Buy yourself a JetRacer. Let's do this. It's so fun. Join us on Discord. We're top 10. JetRacer Project is one of the top 10 channels on Discord, but we're going for number 1.
So subscribe and like the channel.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Join us. Yeah.
All right.
All right. We'll catch you all next week.
Thanks again.